Make sure the screen is nice and clean. You need a clean screen so that everybody can see what today's project is, guys. Welcome to an all new garage stream. I'm going to be restoring this old wooden chair. So yeah, this chair is like old. It's kind of, you know, it's kind of dusty, kind of faded, kind of dirty. I'm gonna sand it. I'm gonna stain it. Well, first I gotta clean it. That's step one, is getting it nice and clean. So that's what's on the menu for today, guys. One second, I'll be right back. I'm going to put the phone in a phone stand so you guys can see a little bit better. Like a better angle of what I'm doing here. Yeah, so this is the chair. First I'm gonna clean it, that's step one. I tried to keep it dry. It rains a lot here, so it's a little wet right now, so I have to wait for it to completely dry out before I move on to like step 2 and 3. But step 1 is I'm just gonna clean it. So that's what I'm doing today. Is step 1 is just cleaning it up so that it can be ready to get sanded and restored. Good morning, world. What's going on, Scott? Hey, what's up, hockey? I'm I'm like restoring a chair. So I'm gonna start by, I'm gonna clean all the dirt and the mold and whatever off of this thing. I'm gonna give it a sanding and then I'm gonna stain it. But today, all I'm going to do is clean it because it's still kind of wet in some spots because it was raining. I tried to cover it up so that it didn't get too wet because it was not raining the whole day. Like, it was actually kind of sunny for a bit. Oh shit, one sec, guys. The light turned up. Yeah, I might brush it. I might vacuum it because, look, I'll show you guys the back side of it. The upside down side of it. So there's like spider webs and stuff. So that's probably what I'm going to do first. How can I speak English like native? You got to just keep practicing. I'm trying to learn other languages too. I'm learning Spanish on Duolingo, and I have been learning Arabic a little bit as well, using Duolingo and just practicing with my mother-in-law and my wife a little bit. Yeah, one second, guys. First thing I'm going to do is vacuum. So bear with me for 1 second, guys, because it's going to be really loud. I have a vacuum hose here. I'm going to turn on the vacuum, so just bear with me for 1 second. I'm just going to vacuum up the spider webs, and then it'll just be 1 sec. There we go. That's it. I just needed to vacuum up those spider webs real quick. How are you from Philippine? I'm from Canada. I guess, are you saying you're from Philippines? If so, welcome. I got this brush. I'm just gonna brush off all the wood, get all the dust off of it. He said, "How are you from?" Like this, I think. Yeah, but that doesn't really make sense. What kind of a question is, "How are you from Philippines?" I'm not from the Philippines. I'm from Canada. The correct way to say it would be saying, "Hi, how are you? Are you from Philippines?" Not "How are you from Philippines?" Right? Am I right here, guys, or am I right? Yeah, so this chair, I'm sitting in it. It's just like a basic wooden chair. But it's a little old and dirty, so I'm restoring it for one of my clients. I eaty, I sleepy, I trainy. Yeah, exactly. You're talking my language now. Now this is some sort of cleaner in here, so I'm just gonna spray it with cleaner. Don't ask what it is, because I don't know what it is, guys. All I know is that it's for cleaning. Oh, look at that. Look at that, guys. Disgusting. That's disgusting. Yeah, right now I'm just cleaning because it's still too wet. I have to let it dry off for a bit before I go to the next steps, which is going to be like sanding it. And the sanding I don't have to sand it a lot. Like I'm just going to sand it off a little bit. How's it going? It's going good, guys. It's going really good. I'm just cleaning a chair. Like how much better can it be going? You know what I mean? What do I do with that cleaner? That's right here. Do you know what kind of wood it's made out of? No, I have no idea. Like it just looks like wood to me. I don't know. I can't identify wood unless it was like very specific. You know what I mean? Like I know some people who are really into woodworking, they can identify woods pretty good, but I mean most people don't know the difference between woods unless it's like cedar's pretty obvious because cedar has like sort of a unique look and smell to it. Pine can be pine is pretty common, so like it's used in a lot of finishing and stuff like that. So if I had to guess, I'd say it's probably pine. I guess, but I don't really know, to be honest. Pretty shit guess, fam. No offense. What, my guess of pine? Well, oh, are you saying Jake's guess? What did he guess? Oak? No, it's not oak. Oak is also pretty obvious. And also, I don't think people would build the type of chair like this out of oak. Like it's probably just standard pine, you know what I mean? Like it's not like any fancy type of wood. It's not even that fancy of a chair. It's just I have a client that I do a lot of work for here in town, and she knows that I do some restoration stuff like this, and so she asked me if I could restore her chair. Just because she likes the chair. Like, she could easily buy a new chair, but it's not about having a new chair. She loves this chair, and she wants it to be restored. And it is a pretty nice chair. Like, I'm pretty sure this chair design is like, correct me if I'm wrong, this is kind of like the Adirondack style of chair. I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about, but there's a series of chairs that are around Canada they're like positioned up in certain spots all over the mountains and stuff like that, and they're called Adirondack chairs. I don't know what it means or where the origin of the Adirondack name comes from. You just see them along like hiking trails and at national parks and stuff like that. Does it have some weight to it, or is it really light? Let me pick it up. No, it's really light. Like for what it looks like, it looks heavier than it is. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not even just saying like I'm really strong or anything like that, but like this does not feel heavy at all. Like I've picked up way heavier chairs in my day. You're very strong. Yeah. I mean, I have been eating more. No, I'm just joking. I've been doing a lot of lifting. Like at the gym, you know what I mean? Yeah, look at how dirty the cloth is getting, guys. Yeah, that's step one. That's step one of the process, is just cleaning it up. And oopsie doodle. It doesn't have to be perfect, guys. We're not looking for it to be like anything crazy yet. Like right now, we're just cleaning it up a little bit so that the next step will be more smooth. Well, considering I was way off, I thought I'd look it up. Well, let me go back. It's walnut, I think. I mean, it could be. Like I said, guys, I'm not that much into woodworking that I could just identify woods like right off the top of my head like that, or just by looking at it a bit. So I truly don't know. I mean, like I said, if I had to guess, I'd say it's pine. It's probably just pine, but who knows? Maybe it is walnut. I don't know. I don't think it's oak. Oak is more like it's a finer wood. Like it's more for like indoor things, I think. Like generally speaking, it's more for like tables and stuff, like coffee table, like an oak coffee table or a dining table or oak furniture that's more indoors. Well, considering, oh, Dan, did you have wind in Boise? The wind tore my roof off. 26 box trucks as I was driving outside of Arco. Oh, that's crazy. That's insane. That sounds like a lot of wind, eh? But yeah, anyways, my next step is I'm going to let this dry because it's all wet now from the clean air that I sprayed all over it. But it's a lot cleaner. Like it's still kind of dirty. Like you could see there's still a bit of dirt coming off of it. But it doesn't really matter because my next step is I'm going to sand it down a little bit. And when I sand it, that's going to remove the rest of the dirt that's still on it. But the initial clean is just to clean off the surface of it. I didn't go out much today, Bridger, but it seemed like it was pretty windy. Yeah, here in Nanaimo, it was raining and cold for the morning. And then about halfway through the day, the sun came out. You should power wash it, probably. I could, yeah. I suppose I could power wash it, but then it would take forever to dry. Like I'll tell you guys what happened. Hi Liam Aston. It rains a lot out here, so it gets soaked a lot. Like it's in the rain a lot. Over the last 3-ish days, it hasn't been that rainy. It's actually been a little bit sunny during the middle of the afternoon. It's been actually pretty beautiful out, which is really nice because I was working outside and I was doing some digging around in a garden. I was weeding out weeds all day. And if it was pouring rain, it would not be very fun to be outside all day because it's not very warm either. It's like 5 degrees during the day. Anyways, I knew that I had to do this chair, and I saw it getting drier and drier by the day as the sun was drying it up, right? So yesterday, I think it was, I picked it up and I threw it in the box of my truck and I covered it with a tarp because it does rain overnight quite a bit, you know, like every night it seems to rain a little bit as well. And so I put a tarp over top of it so it wouldn't get too wet overnight. Now, of course, that was yesterday night, and then it rained a lot during the day today, and it was covered by the tarp, but it wasn't completely covered. Like I didn't like really covered it. I just kind of threw a tarp over top of it. But now that it's inside, like I don't want it to get soaking wet again. It would take a long time to dry out. Do you remember me? Yeah, I remember you, G Money. Can I give you a challenge? Give me the challenge. Give me the challenge, baseball king. And yes, I remember you, G Money. You're one of the OGs, the OG monies. Yeah, that is honestly crazy to hear that the roof blew off your truck. That's insane. But yeah, so I could. You're right. Long story short, guys, I could pressure wash this thing now, and it would really strip away the ingrained dirt that's in this wood. But I don't think it's really necessary. I don't think it needs it that badly. Pressure washing wood is, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like pressure washing wood is not really a good idea to do all the time. Okay, bye G Money. Thanks for dropping in and saying hi. Don't forget to click the likey like button before you go though. Give me a little thumb me up a little bit. Yeah, I'm pretty smooth brained. Probably power wash it, then dry it next to a campfire or something like that. Yeah, I guess you could do that, but like I said, it's so yeah, it ain't my chair to be risking like that. Yeah, like if you mess up with the power washer, you can go too deep. You can basically like strip away the wood. The power washer can be that powerful. Now, of course, I'm a skilled power washer. I wouldn't F up that badly. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't use the nozzle that is strong enough to actually rip the wood in half. But at that point, like I feel like then at that point it's not even really necessary. I don't generally power wash anything wood though, anyways, because of the fact that wood also absorbs water like that. It takes forever to dry it out. You know what I mean? I power wash plastics all the time, vinyl, plastic, like plastic chairs, vinyl patios, concrete patios, tile patios, railings, like metal railings, metal or like metal that's like covered in a thin sheet of plastic. You just washing it even with a hose or basic nozzle. Yeah, exactly. But I don't need to. I just wiped it with the paper towels and the spray. But so yeah, it doesn't really need that at this point. The dirt to be cleaned off. It's not that dirty anymore, guys. I'm gonna sand it. I'm gonna sand it once it dries a little bit. It's just gonna take a little while to dry now because I got it all wet again with the cleaning product. I have to go too. I just got off work. I hope everybody had a good day and I hope you keep your chair clean. Thanks, Bridger. Keep yourself clean too. You know, be careful with that 26-inch truck or whatever you called it. What do you call it again? 26 box truck. Not 26-inch truck. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, so now I'm going to wait for it to dry. I'm going to sand it up a little bit, and then I'm just going to restain it maybe. I'm going to ask her actually first. I'm going to say what she wants. I'm going to say, do you want it to be stained? Or do you want me to paint it? Like I could paint it with like some really good like Rust-Oleum style paint. And that might really freshen it up. Like maybe I could paint it yellow or green or something like that. You know, maybe she might like that. I'll ask her what she wants done with it. We saw your hands after touching the armrest. It's still mad dusty, no offense. Yeah, it is, but it's specifically just in those two spots, okay? I'll show you guys. Look. This is the armrest. Right here. It is. It's pretty dirty right there specifically. But I'm not gonna. I don't want to power wash it or spray it with the hose because I don't think you understand, Dan, how wet it is out here. Like it's lucky if it's sunny even once or twice. You know what I mean? Like if I get it that soaking wet again, it might take days to dry because there might not be enough sunlight during the day that I can actually sit it outside somewhere where there's enough sunlight on it that it's going to actually dry out again. It might take forever to dry out. So I'm not going to wet it up that much. You have far too many sticks in the corner with a jerry can. Oh yeah, yeah. I do. Yeah. Those are all my brushes and brooms and shit like that. But yeah, okay, to make you happy, how about I'll clean this part off some more. I got the ShamWow right here. No, you're right. Looks super humid in your area. Yeah, exactly. That's the main. Honestly, if it was a summertime, I'd say yeah, you're right. I'll just power wash it or spray it with the hose at least, and then throw it out in the sun. But the thing is, right now, guys, the days are so short. Like the sun is going down at 5 o'clock, and if it's cloudy or rainy at all, that means you might get no sun all day. Then if it's cloudy or rainy, yeah. Look at the ShamWow. So basically, I took the 3 days of sunlight that I had to get the rain to dry off of it first. I just don't want to get it that dust or wet again. You know what I mean? Okay, that's a little bit better. You get much fog over there? These days it's been really foggy. Bro, this town has sometimes been the foggiest place that I've ever seen in my life. Like, it was probably about a week or so ago, I believe it was. Maybe about a week or two ago, where me and Zara were driving up the highway to go to Walmart, and you literally could not see more than 20 feet in front of you. And since this is kind of a small town, there's sections of the highway that have no lights, like no street lights. It's just pitch black. And like I said, I swear to God, you couldn't even see 20 feet in front of you. I hate fog. It makes driving so stressful. Yeah, there was actually a time last year, even one time when we were going to go down to the airport at like 4 or 5 in the morning because somebody had to catch a early morning flight, like the first flight out of the airport in the morning. And we're heading down the highway. The fog was so dense that a police car parked on the side of the road, put his lights on, like his police lights on, and they were diverting traffic. Like they were like, get off the road. Like they weren't letting people pass. Caused us to be late to the airport, and the person missed their flight because of this, the fog on the highway. So yeah, this island gets foggier than I've ever seen anywhere in my life, to be honest. It's so incredibly foggy out here. Something to do with the moisture in the air and the way that it all evaporates at nighttime like that. Like it's crazy. Yeah, that sucks, man. Yeah, I know. It was brutal. It was actually such a brutal time because think about it. We had to wake up at something like it was. I think it was like about 4 in the morning because they had a 6 a.m. flight, something like that. We had to drive down to the airport, right? And um, imagine that waking up that early, getting in your truck, heading down the road, getting diverted because of fog, missing the flight. So you went to the airport at 4 in the morning for no reason. You have to go back. You have to pay for a new flight. You have to reschedule. It was a whole big hassle, right? And it was all thanks to some bad weather, like just some fog, completely out of our control. And suffice to say, ever since that day, we've been thinking about making sure that we're never late for the airport ever again. Get there really early every single time now, and making sure that we always check in really early. God or something. Yeah, yeah. I think honestly though, there must have been a reason. You know what I mean? Like yeah, like maybe if you do the butterfly effect or whatever, if you guys know what I'm talking about, it's like you know the timeline changes or whatever. If you change one thing, um, there has to be a reason why we missed that flight, like there has to be a reason why. There must have been, what, like why else would have that happened? Fog so dense that they block the highway. That's crazy. Happy Wednesday. Hello guys. Hello Daniel Berry Sports Highlights 5851. I just finished watching the Calgary Flames lose again, third game in a row, this time to the Montreal Canadiens. Another bad loss. It was like 4-1. These guys are just every time you think they're going to be good again, they suck. I was back on board. I literally even made a video on it. You guys can go check my latest video that I put out just a few days ago where it says the Flames are back at 0.55 or 0.500, I mean. Now, they're on a 3-game losing streak, guys. Back out of the playoffs. They're probably going to finish down near the bottom again. Yeah, I know it sucks, man. It honestly sucks. When you have a team that you actually cheer for and you actually like, and you understand, like, it's just sports. It doesn't actually matter, It's just for fun. But the fun part of the experience is when you actually get to see your team win. So it gets really annoying when your team sucks, you know what I mean? And now, they're halfway through the season at this point. I think they basically have played about 42 or 43 games into the season at this point. So we'll have to see how it goes the rest of the year. They're now 3 games below 500. 3-game losing streak is something that would make me lose interest in the sport pretty fast. Well, that's not even that bad, man. There's teams that have gone on massive losing streaks. I was just talking about it a few days ago on another live stream. The Winnipeg Jets have lost 13 out of their last 14 games. They're in bottom, they're like last place in the league right now. And last year, Winnipeg finished first in the NHL in the regular season. They were the number 1 team by the end of the season with the most wins, the most points. And as of halfway through the season in 2025, 2026, they are dead last, bottom of the league, 10-game losing streak. Unbelievable. You never see that, At least it's very rare. Not easy being a Sabres fan either. I thought the Sabres won 10 in a row, though. Didn't they just do that? That's insane. Yeah, it is. It is. It's honestly insane. That would be like, for those of you who don't follow the NHL, that would be like the Kansas City Chiefs or whatever. You know how they've been dominant for a while, like winning a lot of Super Bowls or whatever. That would be like them just randomly one year falling to the bottom. I guess the Jets never won the Stanley Cup though, so it's not that good of a comparison. But you guys understand. I have an oily skin. Did America also freedom my skin? I get it because of the Venezuela thing. Is that what you're talking about? Oil in Venezuela? Oily skin? How long are you supporting the Sabres? Me, I don't support the Sabres. Or are you talking to the other guy, Brendan Sotomayor or whatever his name is? I ate spoiled Indian food and now I'm shitting really badly. Oof. Bro, you better get that checked out. You know what I mean? Was it good though, at least? Who is the greatest Super Bowl player? Um, Current Taylor Swift versus Prime Michael Jackson. Who's the bigger star? I'd say Prime Michael. It tasted sour and old. I need to ride it out. Yeah, just keep riding it out, bro. Just grip the sides, grip the walls, if you need to. Um, yeah, I'd say Prime Michael because here's one thing that people don't realize about Prime Michael Jackson and the time, like the in the time before the internet, guys. The world was a completely different place before the mid 90s to early 2000s, whenever the internet started to actually become ubiquitous of like modern society, right? Because pop stars and celebrities could only reach their audience through the channel that they had. And the channels that they had were either radio, TV, or movies, or printed art, like, books or print or whatever, right? So if you were that famous, are you a Flames fan? Hell yeah. Calgary Flames for life. They don't have hygiene. Facts, bro. Please spread the news. Soon our country and culture will be taken away from a man with desire. Oh, shoot. That's crazy, bro. Yeah, I think, didn't Donald Trump said he's coming for Greenland next? He took a Venezuelan's president and now he's going for Greenland's. I only follow combat sports, honestly, but there's definitely instances where a fighter will go on a losing streak only to come back and become champion. Yeah, that happens. Or how about a fighter who was champion, was dominant, never loses, wins, finally loses a match, and suddenly they can't win again. Like they're just out. That's kind of what it was like for the Winnipeg Jets this season. Greetings from Greenland. Oilers be ripping your heart out. Well, the Oilers have lost 2 Stanley Cups in a row, so I think if anybody's heart is on the table, it's probably the Oilers. Ripped out by the Panthers. But yeah, I was going to say McGregor is like that. Yeah, well, McGregor won one more fight. Didn't he beat Cowboy Cerrone once after he finally lost and just kept losing in a row? Alexander Volkanovski. Yeah, that's true, but Volk was different because he lost to the same guy, didn't he? He lost to Makachev twice in a row, didn't he not? I'm thinking more of like there's really good examples. Like Anderson Silva. Didn't Anderson Silva lose to Chris Weidman and then he just kept losing a bunch of matches in a row after winning a bunch? Don't you think USA needs socialism? At least a pinch? I don't know about that. Would you rather play in a Stanley Cup or be floundering like the Flames? No, I know. I would rather be in the Stanley Cup Finals. I admit it. I just don't want to deal with the haters, you know what I mean? The Oilers honks on here. We know the window the Flames had like 6, 7 years ago. They squandered it. Of course, yeah. When they had Sean Monahan, Johnny Gaudreau, Matthew Tkachuk, a prime Geo, like you know what I mean? Like they had a very strong team, and then they lost everybody eventually. Elias Lindholm, what's the largest animal you could beat in hand-to-hand combat? Let me think. Largest animal, hand-to-hand combat. Hmm. Maybe probably like an elk or something like that. I think you max out at a spider monkey? No way, bro. I think an elk. You know how big some elk get, guys? Look it up. Look it up. Look up how big the biggest elks are, and then tell me I couldn't beat one on one, hand to hand. Not even a conference finals. They're the Western Conference Leafs. No, but the difference is the Leafs at least make the playoffs every single damn year. The Flames have missed like 3-4 years in a row, guys. Nah, bro, you're not taking down an elk. An elk would be rough. Look it up, guys. Somebody look it up right now. How big is an elk? Leafs aren't making it this year. Yeah, the Leafs are out of it this year now, but they've been the most consistent playoff team for the last like 10ish years. And I just mean by consistent playoff team, I mean team that's been in the playoffs. Obviously, they lose in round one every single year, so that doesn't really count. I can take an elk down with my bare hands. Yeah, see, Lucifer knows what? Like a horse. Elk is the size of a Fiat 500. Yeah, the Fiat 500s are joke cars. Like that, what is this, a car for ants? You've been to Banff. Elk are enormous. Yeah, I know, but guys, they're prey. They're not predators. As someone who's hunted elk, I can guarantee you ain't doing nothing to it, fam. Sorry. No, what about a baby elk? You're not taking an elk with your hands. Y'all chat. We go to the senior party or chill here. Okay, probably could tip a Fiat over though. Yeah, I'm thinking Boston checks that box before the Leafs. Greetings from the Iceland. I guess Boston possibly does, but Boston already missed the playoffs. The Leafs, until this year, have not missed the playoffs in the last like 10 seasons or so. Yeah, you'd have to go back and check, but I'm pretty sure that they've been in the playoffs for about 9 or 10 in a row, whereas Boston was in that camp, but I'm pretty sure they missed last year. Yeah, Leafs have had a long run. They unalived that poor white lady in Minnesota. Who, the elk did? I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe not an elk. Maybe a deer then. You know what I mean? I think I can take one. I get it, they're big, but guys, think about this. They're not really fighters. Do you ever watch the show Vikings? That's a real man's program. I don't think so. I've heard of it. I don't really watch shows though. You know what I mean? Like, there's very rare shows that I've seen. You know what I mean? Like, I've never seen Games of Thrones or Stranger Things or Vikings or Pirates or whatever. I've never seen any of those shows. And I hate to the Leafs, but they're finding a bit of groove, thinking they'll squeak in. Nah, there's no chance this year, guys. There's too many good teams in the East. The East is pretty exciting. I mean, it looks like Montreal is going to make it for sure. Carolina, they're in. Let's go over the teams that are in. Carolina's in for sure. Montreal is in for sure. I think the Islanders are for real as well. So that's 3 for sures. Who else is a for sure right now? Is Tampa Bay? I think Tampa Bay is for real. You watch football? Not really. Who else? Who are we forgetting? Is Philadelphia for real? Is Philadelphia Flyers going to make the playoffs this year, guys? Jersey is for real? No way. Jersey just got spanked, guys. They just lost 9-0 to the Islanders. Jersey's done for, guys. They're not making the playoffs. I think the Flyers are real. Yeah, Jersey is not real. Caps, yeah, Caps is probably in. Okay, so let's go over. We got Carolina, Montreal, Islanders, Philly, Caps. That's 5 teams. We only got 3 spots left. Did I say Tampa Bay? That's 6. I already said Flyers. Have you ever gone mushrooms for food? It's really tasty. Just asking. No scam. No, I have not ever grown mushrooms for food. I've eaten mushrooms before, but not. I've never grown my own. Wings, yeah, the wings are for real. The Wings are, I think, we're number 1 in their division. That's, what are we at? We're at 7 teams. We only got 1 spot left. You think it's Leafs? No way. No way, guys. Leafs are out. Being from Northern Cali, I gotta stay loyal to the weak ass Sharks. Hey, the Sharks might make it this year, though. The Sharks have been shitty so far, but the last few years. But I think they'll make it this year. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I think the Sharks might be for real. Devils only got 5 points back. I'd wait till after the Olympics. I don't think so, bro. The Devils are done for. My landlord's tree grows really nice oyster mushrooms every fall. Never heard of oyster mushrooms, eh? But yeah, Florida. We didn't even talk about Florida, the back-to-back Stanley Cup champs. You think they're going to not make the playoffs? Again, we've established it's probably going to be the Red Wings, Detroit Red Wings. They're in. The Montreal Canadiens, they're in. Carolina Hurricanes, in. Washington Capitals, in. Philadelphia Flyers are in. I think the New York Islanders are for real. They're in. Who else did we say? I forget now. Tampa Bay Lightning are in. It's got to be Florida Panthers, guys. It's got to be. There's a big jumble. There's a big cluster of a bunch of shitty teams in the East that are down near that bottom that are fighting for that last spot, though. Like Florida, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, even Toronto, like we said. Ottawa should be better. The fact that Ottawa made the playoffs last year and now Ottawa's going to miss again. The only team that seems to have no chance at all is probably Columbus. If I were playing NHL, I'd pick Red Wings or Flyers. Yeah, those are two pretty exciting teams at this point. The Red Wings is a finally, you know what I mean? Like they've been building that team for so many years. Never heard of an oyster mushroom, but buy anything that says it's got a couple of grams of protein in it. Yeah, exactly. You haven't been active in the Femboy Discord the last few days. Everything okay? I don't know who you're speaking to, but good luck with everything. TTT568. Hello, Mr. Jesus. The Olympics will make it interesting. Some guys will get hurt. That's true. But also some guys might rest up, you know what I mean? The ones that didn't make the team, you know? The Olympics will... Oh, I already read that one. What's your opinion on the pro sock movement? I think it's crazy that they're trying to get it in elementary schools. I don't even know what that is, bro. Go Canucks, go. Canucks are trash. My therapist wants me on SSRI medications to help with my sex cocaine habit. What should I do with my cat? I think you should give him up for adoptions. Canucks in a free fall. Yeah, the Canucks are one of the biggest clusterfucks in the NHL over the last 4 or 5 years. They've really messed it up. The fact that they had Quinn Hughes, they had, all these generational players or whatever. Says a Flames fan. Yeah. Are the Olympic hockey good? Yeah. This year's Olympics is going to be insane. People that are casual fans, that are just fringe NHL fans, they know a little bit about the teams, but they don't really watch every night. I would highly recommend turning in for the medal games, at least the medal rounds, checking out that tournament because it's going to be crazy, the level of hockey. Yeah, it's best hockey, best on best. Unfortunately, minus Russia, which is stupid. Yeah, that's unbelievable. It's a travesty that Russia's not going to make it. Guys, you haven't heard it in the news? Nerds. Montreal beat Flames today, and I'm a Habs fan. Yeah, I know. I was just talking about that. I'm the best because Russia's not going. Oh, it's not the best. Yeah, of course. Go Avalanche. Aren't the Olympics being hosted in the USA? No, this time they're in the Italy. They're in Milan, Cortina. And I believe next year, in 4 years from now, they're going to be in the United States of America. I believe Utah. Once again, they've been in Utah before. Salt Lake City, I believe. Back in 2004, maybe? Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I'm pretty sure it was back in 2004. The Olympics was in Utah. 2002, yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty sure next Olympics will be in United States. Bro, just seen there was a mass shooting in SLC. What's SLC again? St.
Lewis County? What is SLC? It's all theatrics. The world is a dumpster fire. At the LDS church. Oh, Salt Lake City. Oh, Salt Lake City. Damn. Wow. I had no idea. When did that happen? I literally, this is news to me. The last time I heard about a mass shooting type thing like that, it was the Bondi Beach incident. Do you think Bedard should have made the Team Canada? I do, yes. I personally, if I made the team, I would have put him on the team. Like if I was in charge of making the team, I mean, I would have put Bedard on the team. Hyman should have made Team Canada. No, not Hyman. He didn't deserve it this year. Maybe last year or the year before, but he's not really playing that well this year. You know what I mean? Chiarelli makes it. No Bennett. Yeah, I also would have had Bennett on the team. I actually made a whole video dedicated to my selections for the Team Canada Olympics, like my prediction selections. Like if I was predicting or like making my picks, that's what it would have been. I made a whole video about it. I was wrong on a couple of points, but they were dumb mistakes because I forgot that Team Canada already announced that they had pre-selected a couple players like Braden Point and Sam Reinhart. Yeah, no way he's getting carried by McDavid. Yeah, exactly. When Hyman had his best years, he was playing with McDavid the whole time, and he was just getting set up right, left, and center. Tampa Bay had a lot of say in who made the team. Hyman is flowing, my guy. He was injured, and he was the hottest goal scorer right before breaking his wrist. Well, either way, I'm just saying he didn't deserve it this year. Maybe last year or whatever, the year before, he had a better chance. But yeah, the main reason that you look at the way that they constructed the team this year, it seems a little biased because the coach, John Cooper, I think he put a lot of stock into his own players. So they took guys like Brandon Hagel and Cirelli instead of guys like Bedard and Mark Scheifele, you know what I mean? Or Sam Bennett. I can identify as a Panzerkampfwagen Moss. I'm guessing you don't watch the Oilers. Hyman is a great two-way player. I watch the Oilers. The Oilers is probably the second most watched team that I watch. I think that they could swap out 4 or 5 forwards and it would make not much of a difference. Yeah, at the end of the day, guys, the team is the team. Like, they're not going to be a bad team. They're so deep down the middle and all around, like, you don't really need to think about who you select. Like, you pick the best players and then you surround them by some other really good players. And you're splitting hairs right now if you say, should Mark Scheifele be on the team or should Nick Suzuki be on the team? You know what I mean? Mark Scheifele should have made it for physical play style. Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing. They also got Tom Wilson. Tom Wilson plays physical. They chose Cirelli because he's good at penalty kill. Yeah, see, and there you go. Maybe they're choosing guys that can fill roles a little bit better. Because if they selected people like Connor Bedard, I don't think Bedard is very good at killing penalties, right? So maybe that's why they went with a guy like Cirelli. Who else? Who else got left off? Who else got snubbed? Bennett, Bedard, Scheifele are my big ones that I would have put on rather than those Tampa Bay Lightning guys. I also like the play of Wyatt Johnston in Dallas, but he can snipe. Realistically, Canada should send 3 teams. I get the splitting hairs analogy. Yeah, exactly. They practically could. I'm going to release a new video here one of these days, guys. Probably even tomorrow. I'm going to try to make it tomorrow of just a hypothetical, like a fantasy team of all the snubs. Matthew Schaefer. Yeah, exactly. I would have put Matthew Schaefer on the team too. This kid is electrifying. And guess what? In 4 more years from now, he's definitely going to be on the Olympic team. So why not give him the experience this year? He doesn't even have to play. They could have made him the 8th defenseman and just went along for the ride. If somebody gets injured or can't play or whatever, Why not? Throw him in there. Hey, bro, did you like the beating on the Flames? Oh my God, Superman. I did not, guys. I was kind of mad. I'm subscribing. It's like bullshitting with a buddy right now. Oh, thanks, Brent. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs here, guys. I think I'm at 777 or something like that. No, he's D and 19 years old. Who? Matthew Schaefer? That's what I just said. He's actually 18 years old, or maybe he just turned 19. I don't know. But I didn't say he wasn't a defenseman. You look poor? Aw. Is it because my sweater's old and I'm sitting in a cold garage? You could literally see my breath right now. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Yep, too young. You look like discounted Dennis Villeneuve. He's not poor, bro. Hockey rich on life. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Poor and rich are states of mind, really. Are you drinking? No, I don't drink, boys. The U.S. had bigger snubs than Team Canada. Of course, actually, yeah. Because of Canada's so deep already, like I said, the decisions that they made were not that surprising. The one that people are probably the most like head scratching about is Sam Bennett. But USA left off Jason Robertson, their number one scorer on the entire USA. They left him off. They left out Cole Caulfield, I'm pretty sure. Take that Flames hat off, please. No. I missed a... how disappointing was the World Juniors? Canada doesn't have physically controlled... Oh, yeah. World Juniors was such a shitty performance. Please don't come in hating, goofball. Put a shoe on your head. I'm not even wearing shoes, guys. I'm wearing sandals, see? Flip-flops. Or slides, as they call them. Not really flip-flops. But yeah, no, USA had some really big snubs. The fact that they left off Jason Robertson, like that was pretty surprising to me. Who else did they leave off again? I forget. But Iginla's boy looked like a real great future NHLer. Yeah, I would say so too. He's a Utah Mammoth prospect right now, I'm pretty sure. I wish the Flames took him, but he was already taken by the time it was our draft position. We got Zane Parekh instead, and Parekh set a record at the World Juniors for the most points in the history of the World Juniors tournament by a defenseman. So that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, though, he's not good enough to play in the NHL yet. He should be in the AHL, but because of some weird rule, he's not allowed to go to the A. He has to go down to junior, or he has to play in the N, and he can't keep up with the NHLers yet. Like, I don't even think he's gotten a point yet in the NHL. And he will. He probably will in a few years, but he's just not, like, good enough yet. Parekh is okay, but I don't think he's as good as they say he is. I think it's too early to tell, really. I mean, when you look at a guy like Matthew Schaefer and the New York Islanders, Matthew Schaefer is an instant superstar. Like, he's literally outperforming like 90% of the defensemen in the NHL right now. And he's 18 years old, and it's his first year playing in the league. I think that guy has proved that you can do it. But for 99% of defensemen, it takes them like 3, 4, 5 years before they make an impact. It's just... generally, defensemen take longer to develop, like most of the time. They're usually 22-ish by the time they start hitting their stride, and being able to perform at the top level of the league. A lot of pressure on him to go to the Flames. Tough to shadow Standardin. Iginla, one of the greats who deserved a cup. Iginla is a bust, I think. No way. Yeah, D is so hard to play in. That's why he isn't on Team Canada. Schaefer, yeah. Like I said, though, I would have sent him just as a backup. Like, put him in as the number 8th defenseman. I like Michael Haig for Canada, said Maxie. Yeah, I don't know who's Michael Haig drafted to. I don't really even know. Is he drafted? I don't even know. I don't follow the juniors that hard. Remember last week we met up at the Family Dollar dumpster and you asked me to finish inside you, and then you pushed it out. Oh my God, this guy is crazy. Hague equals Montreal. Oh my God, Montreal's stacked. What's your early predictions for the medals? I'm gonna say Canada is gonna take gold medal in the Olympics. I want to say USA takes silver, Sweden takes bronze. Watch out for the Finns. Yeah, the Finns they're not really a threat right now because um they're missing Barkov. Their best player. Like literally their best player is out. That would be like Canada missing McDavid, you know? Like Finns are always good. Yeah, the Finns somehow play with like really good chemistry all the time. Like whenever you see them play, you're like, damn, this looks like a team that's been together for years all the time. I don't know how. Barkov's not Russian, bro. He's Finnish. Look it up. He would have been captain of the Finland team. I swear to God. He's not Russian. I know he sounds Russian because it's Barkov, and usually when their names end in ov, like ov, it's a Russian name. Maybe he's ethnically Russian, but he plays for Finn. Finns play a sort of soft trap. I think they will surprise. I guess. Who's their goalie, though? UC Saros, maybe? Probably UC Saros, I think. Where's Sorokin from? Sorokin's Russian. What brand is my microwave? I don't really know. No Ekholm for Sweden. Mika Kiprusoff. Mika's long retired at this point. Yeah, I heard here was a funny thing. Ekholm did not get picked for Team Sweden, but Broberg did. Might want to check. Why? What's going on with my microwave? I don't want to check my microwave brand. I don't really care. Who asks that? Yeah, exactly. Like, what's even the deal with the microwave? What's the deal with the microwave? That was my Jerry Seinfeld impression. Did you follow the Blue Jay run? Not really. Not until like the finals. You know what I mean? I'll tell you guys a funny story, or not really funny. It's not funny, but it's just a crazy story, I guess. Or coincidental story. Um, my brother, he actually went to Toronto in the summer, and he went to a couple of Blue Jays games, right? And I don't know if you guys remember the season last year for the Jays, but they were kind of like an average to kind of shitty team at the beginning of the season. And then they randomly won on like a 10-game win streak or something like that, right? In the summertime. That's right when my brother went to Toronto to visit them. He went to a couple of Jays games when he was out there. And that's right when they started their win streak. Like he went to his first Jays game and they immediately went on a huge win streak, right? Fast forward to the World Series. He came here to visit me in Vancouver Island, and it was the freaking World Series on, and he wanted to watch all the games on the TV, and I'd be like, "Let's go out and do something," because you're in town, and you'd be like, "No, I'm gonna watch the game." And sometimes the baseball games would go like fucking 6 hours, and he'd just be sitting in my living room watching the baseball game, even though he came all the way here to Vancouver Island. Worst sports heartbreak of my life, and I'm from Edmonton. Yeah, yeah, that was a really sad way that it ended. I really wished that um the Blue Jays had won the World Series. Till May 27th, they won 14 in a row. Yeah, exactly. It was around then. He went around May or something like that. He went to visit Toronto like on a trip, and he went to a couple Blue Jays games. And then he came out here to Vancouver Island, and it was right around the World Series. And I watched a bit of those games with him, a little bit of the baseball games. I likes ya, I wants ya. I didn't mean to derail the hockey talk. Oh, it's all good. I don't know much about hockey, but I'm just here for the chillin'. Yeah, this stream is like it's like a free for all, guys. When I'm streaming, I can talk about whatever I want. The beginning of the stream, whoever was here at the beginning, remember I was like cleaning this chair. Remember I was like cleaning it. I was spraying it with water and stuff, and I was scrubbing the chair. Who was here for the beginning? We can do this the easy way or the hard way. Don't let trolls push politics or race BS. Hockey is badass sport though. Yeah, hockey is one of the most badass sports. Yeah, I don't care about talking a little bit of politics or race BS. I don't know. I don't mind talking a little bit about it, but I don't like it to be like all about the whole stream or whatever. You know, I find conspiracy theories to be really fun to talk about. I watched the Quebec Ramparts get bukkaked by the Sagamwene 0-6. If you know, you know. What a nice chair. Go Blackhawks. Cool stream, gang. Yeah, I don't mind the Blackhawks, you know, like out of all the teams besides the Flames, I think I kind of like the Blackhawks too, you know. It's like almost like my second team, but not really, you know. I don't really have a second team. I don't know if anybody does that. If you're like a sports fan, if you have a second team, like another team you like to cheer for. But the Blackhawks is sort of like my second team a little bit, you know what I mean? From time to time. Montreal is on fire this season. Oh, I know. Montreal is so good right now, guys. And they're young too. Like they have so many young players, like Hudson, now Demidov, what's his name? Slavkovsky or whatever. The playoffs are trending on being really good. A lot of young teams breaking out. I affirm with your pronouns. What are your pronouns? The the ones that you'd think they are. How about that? But yeah, no, that's true. The playoffs are going to be so exciting because it gets good when it's like a lot of rivalries and stuff like that. But it does start to get a little bit stale if you keep seeing the same matchups over and over. And you almost have like an expectation of what's going to happen and you're not really surprised. But I think, especially this year, I think in the East has a lot of up and coming teams that you're not really, that you weren't really expected to be there. Like, for example, Detroit Red Wings, the Philadelphia Flyers, the New York Islanders, and the aforementioned Montreal Canadiens. Please, Oilers, don't play the Kings for the 5th year in a row. Yeah, exactly. Every GD year, it ends up being Oilers Kings first round, Oilers Kings first round, Oilers Kings. And I get it. The rivalry part of it starts to get a little exciting. But at the same time, like on another perspective, it's like we want to see a different matchup once in a while. You know what I mean? Islanders are wishy-washy. Kings would get them this year. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like I just stopped believing in the Kings because they just keep getting trampled every damn year. Hello, bro. Hello, Sono Singh. Mom Chim, I am good. I am from India. Thank you. I like to do the accent for people who say that. Hi, I got a favorite dinosaur. Oh, got a favorite dinosaur? Tyrannosaurus Rex. The Law Cream Pie. Are you okay? Please tell us. I'm good. What's your thoughts on the divisions? I wish it went back to just conference. Like you mean for the playoffs wise? It might make more sense nowadays, yeah, to go back to just like the top 8 teams get in. I like the idea of a wild card, but it seems to always like F it up. You know what I mean? I'm trolling. Doesn't work here, bud. Oh, mom chill. Yeah, yeah. The trolling, I just steamroll past the trolling. Unless I think it's funny, then I play along. You know what I mean? I am not trolling. I'm concerned about his well-being. See, he's not trolling, bro. He's for real. He's for real. He cares. I want to make sure he's okay. Paging Dr. Hockey. That's me. But yeah, what was I gonna say? The playoff seeding is kind of messed up. I keep seeing this one stat that's also really messed up for the NHL, which is the overtime points. It's like the Vegas Golden Knights have less wins than the Calgary Flames, like regulation wins right now, and the Knights are like firmly in a playoff spot. But it's because they lost a bunch of overtime games. Like, go look it up right now, guys. It's something like that. Like, Vegas has only 17 regulation wins, and um, I think they have like 13 overtime losses or something like that. I don't know it off the top of my head. All I know is that um that they wouldn't be in the playoffs if it wasn't for overtime. They're like the Colorado Rockies of hockey. Hello, swollen person. Hello, swollen. Are you constipated perchance? No, I'm pretty good actually. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm uh the opposite of constipated. Hey, the NBA has a lot of problems, but the play-in tournament is growing on me. What if the four teams that played for two spots as wildcards? Who do you think will win the Premier League? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm gonna say um, the Vancouver Whitecaps or whatever. So yeah, I think the NHL could do a wild card play, and that might make it a little exciting. I don't know if you guys remember, there was a few years ago there was like a COVID shortened season, and the at the end of the year, the playoffs, they needed to have two teams like do a play in or something like that. I don't know if you guys remember. A one game knockout would be really cool. You look like you're wearing a mask. Like, what kind of mask? This is my face. I'm sorry, I hate the play in tourneys. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, guys. I think they're kind of cool, personally. Because, there's a lot of examples where the bottom seed of the wild card teams is almost the exact same points as the team that didn't make it, and they just get in on a wild or on a tiebreaker. Or at least if they're not the exact same, they're only difference by like 1 or 2 points. So much drama and one and done. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of a lot of drama, right? Because you got to win that game to get in. But then again, it kind of discounts the whole rest of the season. Because it's like, why did they play 82 games then if you don't even have to finish in the top 8? All you have to do is finish close enough, and then you get one more chance. Look at the sniffer on that guy. Oh, yeah. I love sniffing. Exactly. Yeah. It kind. You know what? You're starting to sway me now. 9728228. I feel like I'm starting to get convinced back onto the side of no play-in tourneys. Because why did they just play 82 games if you're just going to give them one more chance? Why did Jerry let Kramer just stroll in and out of with stealing our food and shit? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I mean, that's just show logic or whatever, like sitcom logic. Well, top 10, but I'm not complaining. The NHL consistently has amazing playoffs. That's true. The NHL playoffs are really good. Like, they're always really exciting. That first week of playoffs when all 16 teams are in the tournament and the tournament's starting and you could switch back and forth between games and there's so much excitement, the level of play just gets stepped up to another level, and there's always an upset every single year. No matter what, without fail, a lower seed upsets at a higher seed, and it's usually like a big one. Like, it's like, it's not just like the middle card ones. It's like a 2 gets upset by a 7 or whatever, or a 1 gets upset by an 8. It was like an unsaid thing before the play-in tourneys, but that beauty of it sometimes is just not your night. Yeah, exactly. I'll give you guys a great example. And again, I might be biased on this because I'm a Calgary Flames fan. But last season, if you guys recall, the St. Louis Blues and the Calgary Flames actually tied with the exact same amount of points. The only reason St. Louis made the playoffs and the Flames did not is because they had more regulation wins or something like that. Like, they won on the tiebreaker. But what if before the playoffs started, they had to have one final match, Flames versus Blues, winner gets to go on to the playoffs, the loser goes home. You know what I mean? Like that sounds like an exciting prospect, does it not? Especially because they were exactly tied. It's not even like they were insane jawline. Thank you. Hate the advanced analytics. Have an extra game, like in baseball. Yeah, exactly. They should do it. Yeah, that's how they should do it. If the two teams are tied in points, they have to be exactly tied. They should have to do one play on or play in or whatever. Or also, how about this? An East-West crossover. So you know how they're right now the playoffs are the top three teams in each division are guaranteed a playoff spot, right? Then it's the wild card teams from each conference, right? What if the final 4 wild card spots, 2 in the West, 2 in the East, it didn't matter. It was East West, it was whoever. And then it would be more competitive in terms of like your wild card chances now go down depending on what conference you're in. That's like a mini play-in tourney. It's like the CFL. Is George Floyd going to be resurrected to play for the Seattle Krakens? I mean, it's not impossible. It's within the realm of possibility. I would give you that. How's your opening can of worms, bro? Oh, now I'm open. Oh yeah, like a crossover wild card, right? It would be cool if we seen crossovers get these cool exotic matchups. Yeah, exactly. Because for example, let's say that you did top 3 in each division, they all guaranteed their spot, and then you did an open wild card. A team like the Florida Panthers might get that bottom wild card seed and end up having to play Colorado in round 1. Imagine that. The Stanley Cup champion, Florida Panthers, versus the Colorado Avalanche, the absolute juggernaut of 2026, 1-on-1 in round 1 of the playoffs. How about that, guys? Does that not sound pretty freaking exciting? Or something, something like that. I feel like something like that could happen, right? Because Florida might not make it this year, guys. Based off of what we were talking about earlier, the Florida Panthers, I don't think are guaranteed a playoff spot right now. They're not playing good enough hockey. They're not winning enough matches, and they're risking losing a spot in the playoffs. They might not even make it after making back-to-back trips to the Stanley Cup Finals and 2 Stanley Cups in a row. They might not even make it to the playoffs this year, guys. But if they had that crossover rule, I think they would have a greater chance, because I think the West has been so weak this year. I think there was something like 7 out of the top. I mean, the worst, like the bottom 8 teams are Western Conference teams. What Panthers will be outside the pack in April. Everyone knows the Avalanche are higher than Kites while playing. Joking. Yeah, well, the Avalanche have one small innate advantage that some people talk about. Some people believe it's real. Some people think it's a bunch of malarkey, but it's that they're at a high elevation. So supposedly, if you are not used to playing in Colorado, like you don't go to the mountains a lot, sometimes your lungs and your breathing can be affected by the higher elevation, like the air is thinner. But I don't really believe it. I don't really know about it. The truth is, because I was born and raised, I grew up in Calgary, which is also a very high city. I don't really feel the difference in elevation. Like when I'm down at sea level and then I go up to the mountains, I can breathe just fine. But supposedly, if you were down around sea level like most of your life, and then you go up to a place like Calgary or Colorado, you have trouble breathing. I don't know if that's true or not. Avs will falter. They have to be the 2019 losing to... Avs will falter. They will be the 2019 Tampa losing to the Columbus. Oof, that would be brutal. I couldn't imagine how freaking shitty that would feel, losing to the wildcard team after how dominant the Avs have been this year. Altitude change is a real thing, LOL. I don't know. I never feel it, guys. I don't feel it. Even when I went to Peru earlier this year, I went up to Cusco and Machu Picchu, which are like 3,000 feet above sea level altitude places, and I didn't feel any altitude at all. Like I felt completely normal the entire time. I didn't feel sick or like I was short of breath at all. Ears pop. Yeah, ears pop when you're freaking in an airplane. When you go, the airplanes go like 10,000 feet above. Hockey is funny like that. Just makes playoffs and you stand a chance. Yeah, it's true. I mean, it happens every year. Like you said, the Columbus Blue Jackets beat the 2019 Lightning. What other upsets have we seen recently? We've seen quite a few. I didn't the Washington Capitals get upset in round one when they were the President's Trophy winner pretty recently as well. Hockey, you're just built different, dog. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I mean, I think it's maybe because I grew up in Calgary, which is already a pretty high elevation. A lot of boxers have their camps at high elevations, supposedly to train their lungs. Yeah, I've heard this too, right? Boxers and fighters sometimes go to places like Colorado to train so that when they get back to sea level, they feel better. But I truly don't feel a difference, guys. And I live on an island right now that's basically at sea level. Like I could run to the ocean from where I'm at right now in my garage. I can be in the ocean in like 20 minutes by just running down a hill. But when I go back to Calgary or when I go to a place like Cusco up in the high up in the Andes, I don't feel a difference at all, guys. Really, no difference. That's just me personally. And I do a lot of training too. Like I run a lot around a lot. Like I do a lot of jogging, and I time myself. Like I have a Runkeeper app that I track all my progress off, and yet I don't feel like I feel a difference. Do you miss Berta? Um, Sometimes, kind of, but not really. BC feels the kind of the same. Like it doesn't feel that much difference to be in BC. BC's really beautiful too. Like the scenery is so nice, and the nature, the mountains, the ocean, the trees and everything. The weather is so nice. Like the fact that it's January right now, and I could go outside right now with shorts and flip flops on. Like I'm pretty good. Are you a fisherman? Not really. I've done some fishing in my day, but I'm not. I wouldn't consider myself a fisherman. But yeah, if I was in Alberta right now, guys, I would not be able to sit in an unheated garage right now, just chatting away with flip flops and shorts on. You know what I mean? Be too cold. I'd be shivering. The fact of the matter is, guys, it's so warm out here on average that it's beautiful. What's the temp over here? At this exact moment, it's probably like 3 or 4 degrees Celsius. Would you ever climb Everest? I would, but I've thought about it. Like I've truly, honestly thought about climbing Mount Everest before. But the only reason I hesitate is because it is so dangerous. Like people lose their lives all the time trying to climb up Mount Everest. And um it was almost 70 Fahrenheit in Cali today. Sunny as shit. Yeah, and it's also very expensive. Yeah, it's like 10 grand or something like that to go on a trip to climb up to Mount Everest. It would take a lot of time. Like you'd have to train for it quite extensively, and yeah, you'd have to pay quite a bit of money to do something extremely dangerous that you could just lose your life in. And I guess the risk reward just doesn't seem that much like it's worth it. And I love hiking. I love mountain climbing. I go up mountains all the time, but I wouldn't. I don't know if I would be risky enough to go up a mountain that extreme. Like it's such an extreme mountain, guys. It's just so extreme. That's the type of place where I might actually feel elevation sickness. But like I said, I never felt it in the Andes. I went up to Cusco, guys. I went up to Machu Picchu, and I didn't feel shit. I felt the exact same. Brokeback Mountain type shit. Is there still dead people still there? Yeah. Yeah, bro. There's people on the side of Mount Everest right now that have been lying there frozen for like decades. What up, my N? N stands for nincompoop. Yeah. Maybe consider talking to the missionaries about Jesus. Landmark now. Yeah, apparently there's a guy on the side of Everest that they use as a waypoint. Like they're like, oh, there's green boots or whatever, because his boots are green or something like that, and sticks out of the snow, and all you can see is it. Come to Australia. I'm gonna come to Australia one day. I will. I'll be there. I don't know about Half Dome either. You know what mountain I have actually heavily considered climbing one day would be Mount Kilimanjaro. That's in Africa. I believe it's in what country is it in again? I want to say what is it? I'm literally blanking on it right now. I've literally actually looked into it. Tanzania? No. Is it in Tanzania? No. I thought it was in like I'm not going to play Roblox, Robert. Stop it. Stop it, Robert. Am I juice-ish? No. Anyways, yeah, I considered Mount Kilimanjaro because Mount Kilimanjaro is pretty extreme, but it's not as extreme. Like people don't die in it all the time. Some people die on it, but but not as often as Everest. And I've just heard that it's a really cool experience because it's in Africa and it's really hot in the country that it's in. But as you start climbing up, it gets cold and colder and colder, right? Because it's up the mountain, right? Have you climbed Mount Robson? I have a bunch of times actually. I've trekked the Himalayas, not Everest though. That's still pretty extreme, haha. Yeah. Yo, where are you from? I'm from Calgary, Alberta. Steal a brain rot. Steal a brain rot. Steal a brain rot. I'm just reading your comments, Robert. Can you shout out my brother, Harry Anus? Yes. Shout out. Harry Anus. Shout out. I would like everybody to I'd like everybody to acknowledge my Harry Anus. Yeah, it's in Tanzania. Okay, I believe you. Steal a brain rot. Bro fell for it. Steal a brain rot. Okay, guys, my phone is at 3%. It's about to die. I have 3% of battery on my phone right now. I'm actually freezing in this garage. It's so cold. I don't know if you guys can see my breath. Maybe you can't see it. I have to go against something something dark. Like you have to be able to see it. But yeah, it's freezing in here. I need to close the I need to close the live, guys, because my phone's about to die. If I don't get a plug to plug into. Tell Zara we said hi. I'll tell her, guys. Yeah, you know what? Okay, here's one last word of wisdom, guys, before I leave. There's no such thing as opposites. There's no such thing as opposites. They're just scales, right? So you know how like you think there's hot and then the opposite of hot is cold, right? Is that really true? Or is that really true? Or are they just on different ends of the spectrum? You know what I mean? Like it's the same feeling. It's just one is more hot and one's more cold, right? That's my final wisdom of the day. Thank you guys. I hope you guys like hearing those last final thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs right now. Well, different ends would be opposite. Yeah, okay, I fucked up the quote, but you know what I mean, guys. It's like, okay, like, you know how when you're cold, you know what I mean? To a guy who's colder than that, you might even feel hot, right? 6767, thank you. 6767. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. 6767, thank you, Robert, for spamming. And thank you all for subscribing. Don't forget to like the live. Don't forget to check out my newest videos every day. I go live every day. And I will tell my wife that I say hi for whoever that was. I forgot who said that, guys. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful night as well. Thank you for watching. Have a good night, guys.